Good day. Today is Wednesday, September 29th, 28th, 2022. The days all blur into one sometimes. That's because it's another uh, monsoon type day here in the Sonoran Desert. The clouds are beginning to gather, and this afternoon we'll probably get some more rain. I'm looking today at chapter 44 of the Tao Te Ching. It says, how others perceive you is of no concern. How much wealth you have is of no concern. These cause more suffering than happiness. When your contentment springs from the fountain within you, you will not be caught by the traps of culture. Your life will be blessed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to avoid a rant in this particular observation today because this hooks so many things in me. The external validation of the perception of other people and the world, and the external validation that comes from amassing a certain amount of wealth, to me is the sign of a deeply disturbed, perhaps deathly disturbed culture. And it goes on in my own mind. I'm thinking of the phrase that we use, I guess, in some descriptions of talking about people and what their net worth is. Come on. Worth is something that's intrinsic. It's not external. It's something that emerges from our very being. We don't have to prove it. We don't have to generate it. We don't have to earn it. Worth is a given. Yet we rank people according to their net worth. It would be much better to rank them according to this particular person has $4.5 billion, more than is necessary for a sustainable, enjoyable, comfortable life. That's how it should be ranked. So I'll back away from that rant for just a moment and then go on to the whole perception of other people. Again, it's a question of our intrinsic worthiness. Our worth by our culture from childhood is conditioned and defined by how we look, what we earn, and whether we win or lose a contest, what we accomplish. So now my rant is going to shift over to social media, especially Facebook. It's been several years since I canceled my Facebook account. But it's an interesting example because the very name implies face, the face we want to present to the world. And their whole algorithm of operation is based on feedback to us of how we are perceived. What do you think the like button is for? Not to mention, more fundamentally, of what we will buy. And the algorithm also feeds us curated opinions that support our confirmation bias, ensuring that we stay engaged. So net worth and social media strike me as such contrary instruments to the Taoist idea of how we are perceived is of no concern and how much wealth that we have is of no concern, because these things bring more suffering than happiness. Contentment springs from within you and life is blessed. I won't go to social media. Wait a minute, Bill. You go to YouTube. You have your daily videos. This very video is going to be uploaded to YouTube. Yeah. And it's a dangerous place to go. And it's always a danger for me as a teacher and author, especially early on in my career. Are my books selling? Do people like what I write? Do they enjoy what I say? And there are so many ways that I can get feedback on this that are instantaneous and go directly to the center of my brain that begins sorting them according to my self-worth. So worth doesn't come from inside, it comes from these complicated internal algorithms that present to me how I'm perceived and whether that perception is good enough to make me worthy enough to continue to live. And of course, it never is, because you can always get a few more likes. So I've turned off the likes. I don't have the likes turned on my YouTube channel. And I use it just as a place to put my videos so that you can have access to them. Do I like comments from people who are engaging with my talks? Yeah, I like that. I like the engagement, but it's also dangerous, because suppose I get plenty of nice comments and engagements on a particular post. How can I help but think, oh, that's the kind of post I probably should do more of? And if another post gets completely ignored, I have to look and say, oh, well, I probably said something there that was a little off-putting, and I may want to back away from that. Oh, my goodness gracious. Can you see the morass and the swamp that this whole social media sharing algorithm leads us into? I like engagement, but I no longer support that part of my mind, which is still active. I just don't feed it anymore. Of how am I doing? Do you like it? How much do you like it? Do you love me? Do you still love me? Still? Do you know those feelings inside of you? They can only be countered by an awareness that there is something deep in me that is intrinsically worthy of my life, and I don't have to do a blamed thing to earn it. I am worthy just because I'm here. So what keeps me working? That intrinsic worth, that feeling that I belong here, and therefore what I have to say and do and what arises in me to do and say is what's there for me to do and say. And it's not judged by how well it's received. My work grows out of my intrinsic worth. My worth does not grow out of my work. I am not worth what the reaction to my work is, financially or socially. I am worth intrinsically everything, and my work grows out of that. Now, that's easy to say, but boy, it's hard. How much we earn, how our coworkers like us, what our yearly evaluations are like. The gray area where there is some feedback that might be helpful to improve my ability to do my work. Yeah, possible. I've never seen it used effectively, ever, 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 in any industry and consultation that I've ever done. Sometimes you get, from my daily walk with the Tao, this, I think, this peaceful, soothing understanding of we're all part of one thing and everything is fine. And that's from there we operate. And that's true. That's where our worth lies. We're part of the marvelous Tao. Occasionally, you'll catch me on a rant. Today, you caught me on a rant. There are certain things in our culture that I think are fundamentally flawed and dangerous. If somebody wants to connect to the pictures and the stories of your life, get a free blog and put up your pictures and stories and opinions there, and have your friends check in with it if they'd like to. Don't make yourself part of this constant stream that's formed by intricate algorithms to keep you in a certain place. find venues that are free of that and simply ways of checking in with each other. I went back on the rant. I'm going to go on down the road, and I hope to see you down the road again. And I hope your life is blessed and content and living out of an intrinsic sense of self-worth today. Blessings.